Good morning, everybody. It's February, and we are here this morning with a special guest. And Susan Jones is here. So, Susan, we were just talking a little bit about what you were up to this morning. Can you tell us a little bit about your crazy morning with... You just
Sure. It was just, hello everybody. It was, we were just playing pickleball, and most of you know that Steve and I play, and so we were there for an hour just before we came here, so.
Can I ask a question about pickleball? Not, just because this has been, like, every time someone says the word pickleball to me, I want to know where the name comes from.
Yes, that's my
question. Because my brain pictures, like, a green ball flying back and forth that smells like vinegar. Like
a rubber zucchini or something like that. And you got to throw it onto the other side.
Yeah, like, why pickleball? Like, do you know?
You know what, I do not know the real answer.
Okay.
All I know that the ball has holes in it, and
Sure.
it's a hard plastic.
Okay.
And it basically is, I mean, there's a different ball for indoor and outdoor, but I have no idea
Okay,
where the name came from.
all right.
Sorry.
I wonder if this is one of those, like, fake things, like the fake German tradition of hiding the pickle, which I understand is
maybe.
not actually German, but everyone thinks is German.
At
At Christmas time, right? Where
Yes.
you hide the pickle somewhere. So I wonder if it's one of those things where someone in Ohio just created
Maybe.
some, and they're like, let's call it pickleball. And
Okay, so my guess. I feel like we should play balderdash of
Yeah.
like, where does the name pickleball come from? So my balderdash answer is, I think it's the sound that somebody makes when they're out of breath and they're trying to hit the ball and they go.
oh, maybe
pretty good.
that's a good. You know what? If Susan just said that, I would
Yeah.
totally believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to get out of breath when you're playing, because the court's not that big.
Some of us will.
Well, you
I
can,
do too sometimes.
You can get out of breath, like walking down the stairs too.
Fair enough.
Right, but now there's a number of people in our church who play, right? Like you and Steve aren't the only ones, because
No,
Mike is often.
Mike is yet to get out on the court with
Really?
us. No, I'm not saying he
Gold-
hasn't
gold
played.
grapes are
We've
all
tried
over
to get
it.
him out,
Yeah,
but he's
okay.
had his injuries, right?
Sure, fair enough,
But
yeah.
Jens and Eleanor
Yeah.
play.
All right.
Colleen has played.
That's right.
Ron and Cheryl have played with us.
Okay.
So it's your life group.
When she's not golfing, she's.
That's what
Actually,
That's what it sounds
only
like.
Ron and Cheryl are in. Oh, yeah, I guess they're the only ones in our existing life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I've played a little bit of tennis, not very good, but if I came out and played, could I keep up?
Well,
Like, is
actually,
it
that's really
tough?
why we started playing pickleball, is
Mm-hmm.
because Steve and I always played tennis for
Oh,
years
okay.
and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And then after Steve's knee surgery, it was almost too much for him to play tennis because of the running and twisting.
Right.
So pickleball, they say, is probably no better. However, you don't run as much.
Okay.
So, well, he does sometimes. But
Yeah.
But so we thought we'd try pickleball, and actually, it's a lot more fun with four
Is this a
people.
team
Oh,
sport
okay.
where Susan stands and says, "Steve, go get it"?
No,
Steve is
no,
in the
it's
back.
a team. No,
Steve left side.
What I heard is when she's on her game, she's got him running all over the court. You know.
You're going to get me in trouble now. But, no, but I should say this because you are recording this.
Yeah.
We are only playing singles
Yes.
because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't send me emails.
Yeah. No, that's
kidding.
good.
Yeah. No, all of that's
Okay.
Justin.
But
Anyway.
the reason we have you here is not to talk about pickleball.
Thank you.
We would like you to tell us a little bit about this book that you brought in, and it's my first time seeing it, but you've gone through it a couple times. So can you just tell us a little bit about what this is? It says "Seek God for the City 2021" on it. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, just tell us a little bit.
Absolutely. So, yes, I think this will be our third or maybe fourth year.
Third.
Third,
Third
okay,
for sure.
third year doing it. And basically, obviously, pre-COVID, we were able to, get a list of people that wanted to order the book, and we would order them for them, and then they would pick them up at church. This year's not quite that easy. I know we've sent an email out, but basically, this little book, we do have some in the church. I ordered a small number because last year a lot of people used the app, and so with that in mind, at the time I wasn't aware that there wouldn't be an app. So, however, there are books that I can probably get more if we need them. This book is $4.25 this year, and
Yeah.
that goes on based on how many you order and the shipping, and obviously it comes from the States. This year, because they're not doing the app, there's an ebook, and we'll send that out. Ursula will send that out with the bulletin this week, I'm guessing. The ebook is $2 US, so roughly maybe $3.30, something like that. And that's available instead of the app. I'm not sure why they didn't continue the app, but that is.
Well, I'm sure it's just the economics, right? Because an ebook is a lot cheaper, easier to publish than an app. But
possibly.
regardless, you can get it on your phone still and read along and follow.
This is true. This is true. Because the app was $199 US last year, so really it's not. But having said that, this year in the back of the book, there's also 10 Days of Praise, which goes through the Ascension to Pentecost. So, and it goes from May 13th to the 22nd. And so I think that to me is another little addition of the book. Obviously will be in the ebook. Yeah. But to me, that's amazing.
So can we back up a little bit? Some of you know this already, but I'm just new to it, and anybody else that is. It says, Seek God for the City 2021, Prayers of Biblical Hope, 40 Days to Palm Sunday. So is this something that you do for Lent? Like, what? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I suppose it is in the Lenten period.
Okay.
So we actually didn't necessarily promote it as that, but it does start on February 17th, which is
Ash Wednesday.
Correct.
2 weeks.
So they have 40 days.
Like 2 weeks from...
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 weeks from now, roughly. Yeah,
right.
I guess.
Okay.
Well, yes, Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
February 17th, and it goes to March 28th, which is Easter Sunday.
Okay.
So basically, it is a Lent period.
Right.
We've just never promoted it that way for whatever reason.
Well, just for people to know, it starts
totally.
on Ash Wednesday, goes to Easter.
Yeah.
And what are the prayers?
So each day you're praying for different things. Like the first day is for homeless people, and so our city would pray for the homeless people in West Bank, Kelowna, West Kelowna, wherever. And then there's also additional prayers that you can pray on that first day is the Americans in the Caribbean. And so each day it goes to different people, like the university students. It goes to about your emergency workers, your frontline workers, all of those different things. So every day has a different prayer for your local area, and then also somewhere in the world. So, and it's, to me, it's a great little tool just to get you to pray more.
Yeah, it's excellent because it is kind of, there's very few things that we do as a Baptist church where we're all like in it together, right? Where we're all praying together, and to know that, there's a group of us in our church that are all considering the same thing, whether it's homeless, frontline, whoever, right? I have not looked at the hard copy book yet. No, that's okay, because COVID, man. It's paper. It supposedly doesn't last very long on paper, but beyond that, what I wanted to know is what was so great about the app was there would be links to like a video that you could kind of watch to kind of get you in. Does it at least have a website in it? I'm hopeful that the ebook will have the link.
Yeah.
So does it tell you like click here or go to this site and then you can see was it Prayercast or whatever it was?
No, it might have been OperationWorld.org.
Yeah.
That's correct.
OperationWorld.org, and then it was a different country every week or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. And so you could, just then highlight more specifically what's going on in, said country that we might not otherwise think about.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
There's even been countries recently where I'm like, really? That's a country?
Yeah.
Right? And just hearing the name, it's my North American ignorance of not knowing all these countries, but God's still doing amazing things there, and we know that through a lot of these videos. And
this is exciting to me. Like, how many do you know? A brief estimate. How many people would we be joining in praying the same thing?
Are you talking about our church or West Kelowna? Are you talking about Kelowna, the world?
Wherever this is distributed.
You know what? You're asking the wrong person.
But we're probably joining.
Is this like a Western Canada or like
no, this
North
is
America?
from the States.
Yeah.
This is from the States.
So we're probably joining hundreds of, even thousands of people praying for the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I'm sure that maybe Seek God for the City has that in a website somewhere.
Yeah.
We'd have to look it up. But you're right. It is. it is a whole lot bigger than just us,
Yeah.
and which is also really cool to think about.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
sure, certain church traditions, they have more of the liturgical calendar, and they're all, praying and reading the same thing. And as Baptists, we don't. But it is nice when we seasonally do something
Yeah.
and know that we are joining in something that is so much bigger than us, and also gets our eyes off of. No, not just off of us, but like we think about different areas of our community,
Yeah,
but
it is
also
certainly.
the world.
Yeah.
And so-
What I found was really amazing too is that sometimes when I get into a mode of prayer or start working through some stuff,
Yeah.
my mind wanders after a
Yeah.
minute or two, right? Whereas this almost even just gives you an outline of saying, okay, we're going to pray for this,
Yeah.
and then pray for that, pray for that. Okay, so I can pray about 3 things, right? And it just kind of gives you just that general outline. Whereas sometimes when you kind of sit down to pray, you're kind of all over the place, and you're doing other stuff, or right? It's too easy. This kind of brings everything nicely together, and I think it even is just trying to build a good habit of paying attention, focusing
Yeah.
on what you need to, and working through that sense of prayer.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it, and I think that communal prayer, people joining together in prayer, is very powerful. So for us to join together with people beyond
Yeah.
even our boundaries that we know, how much power are we? Like God's power is awesome.
Yeah,
So this is
it's-
really exciting. So we want people to
Well,
ask you about the book.
they can
There's
certainly-
copies here at the church,
There
right?
are copies here at the
Okay.
church still available.
Yeah. So come in
And so they can
buy a
certainly,
book.
yeah, they should probably check with Ursula to make sure, that
Okay.
when they're coming, to make sure she
Yeah.
still has them and she's here, obviously.
Yeah.
But the link for the ebook will go out this
We
week.
will be
right?
sending out the
Yeah.
link so that you can go
And,
purchase the ebook.
Yeah.
And
I'd really be curious, like, is there a way that we can, how have you before, people that have done it, have you connected to just
Well-
say, hey, I prayed for this morning, or this came to mind, or whatever? Like,
you know what we did last year? Again, so it's challenging in COVID
Yeah.
times, right? Obviously. Last year, do you remember one of the last things we did, again, it just happened to be before we all locked down, was determined that we would get together at Emmanuel Church with some people from there who were also doing it. I think it ended up being a nice little gathering of pastors, and you were there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Lorraine.
So yeah, exactly. So it was pastors and Susan and a couple
Suzanne.
pastors' wives, and that's okay. And we prayed together. Actually, it worked out to be the Sunday before Seek God for the City started. So it was
Yeah.
kind of like before we get into this, let's just come together as some
Yeah.
larger community and pray together. It does kind of work out that we're planning to have a prayer night as a church just before Seek God for the City starts, and we'll do
same
that
thing, the Sunday before.
the Sunday
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
right? So we would invite you to join us on Zoom just for an evening of connection, an evening of praying together, of really just being together as a church, and we'll we had like what? I'm trying to remember the number of how many people connected for the AGM this last week.
Oh, yeah.
We had
Well, a couple different
40
screens of-
something.
yeah.
I mean, the number of cameras and screens were here in the building, but like 40 something different homes from our church were all connected on, or no, because it was 30, whatever, it's not that many homes because some of those were two. But anyways, we had a lot of people, a lot of different homes connected to the AGM. And so we certainly have the capacity. A lot of people have Zoom, and it'd be great to just connect on that Sunday the 14th, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I was going to say, I think that's great to do it before.
Yeah.
However, knowing how uncomfortable people are praying, especially over Zoom, because, I personally would suggest, even if we can do another one even whether it's in the middle or a few
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah.
later, maybe you already have
Yeah.
just because when you're on a day in here,
Yeah.
you're like, then people can actually
Yes.
look
Yes, totally.
and maybe pray for that specific day. So just a suggestion.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it gives some
Yeah.
good prompts.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
just, yeah.
and that was one of the things we wanted to mention in kind of making everybody aware of the 14th night is
Yes.
we understand it. And we kind of noticed this even, I think, at the AGM a little bit. Sometimes it's intimidating talking on Zoom.
It totally is.
And
yeah.
absolutely, we totally understand that and don't want to push anyone. But you can join in for prayer, and we're going to create some opportunity for even just silent prayer.
Yeah, you don't have to pray out loud, that's true.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you want to mute your mic, that's okay. We get it. We're not going to force people to unmute, and so that we can all... I love hearing people pray. I will say that. Yeah. It really encourages me in my spiritual walk when I get to hear people pray and pour out their heart to God, especially when it's teens. Like that's one of the things that really keeps me going in youth ministry is praying with youth and hearing them pray. Yeah. But just adults too, is always great and encouraging. But I understand that it is intimidating, being nervous, praying on Zoom or whatever. Yeah. People in front of people in general. So we don't want to force that, but we would invite you to come along and join us.
Yes.
Be part of the call. And if you don't pray out loud and just pray something, that's okay.
And that's part of
I was going to say, I think you can mute your mic.
Yeah.
I think we would ask that you keep your video on. Yes. I think that's a good thing because I think not only for us to know who's there, but that we're in this together. And mute your mic all you want, but let's keep the video on.
And we've planned to have, now we'll pray about this, and you can pray silently, or if you feel led, pray out loud. But just to know that you're praying with a group, right? Like sometimes, we've done that together too. We just spend a number of minutes silently, but together.
Yeah.
And there's something just knowing that we're all there together. So that's good to bring up. That don't feel like you have to come on Sunday, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday,
the 14th.
The 14th. Don't feel like you have to come to be able to pray out loud. Just come to be a part of the community, to connect with everybody, and then we'll pray together, however that is, silently. Yeah. Some people feel good praying out loud, and that's great. Yeah.
And yes, we know it's Valentine's Day, Susan.
Okay, just
but it is Valentine's. We're well aware of it, and what are we going to do? We're not supposed to go out anyway, so we'll stay at home. We'll pray together as couples.
Just so you know, you can actually take your wife out for dinner, Chris.
I've heard that, but she hasn't. No, I'm just kidding. We went out last Thursday night on a date night, just the two of us. And a couple weeks before that we went. So we have been going out, just the two of us. But it's Valentine's. Everything's overpriced and overbooked. Don't go out on the 14th. Stay in and pray.
We did talk about it too. We've been trying to plan a prayer meeting on the second Sunday of every, so there will be one in the middle.
Okay.
And to delay it for a commercial thing, we just thought, you know what, let's do it anyways. And we'll pray for marriages.
Pray for marriages, pray for families. It's Family Day weekend.
And if you can't come because you're out, then come on the second Sunday of March.
And that's a start. I don't want to commit us to anything that we haven't talked about, but maybe we can do another one in there too, right? Like we don't have to. Yeah. Because it is a season of prayer. It might be worth
you set the tone.
Doing some more.
Come on Sunday, the 14th, and show us that yes, we want to have more of these. And
perfect.
But I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited about seeing who's going to do it on the 14th, and then how many people connect with some of us, just to say, please let us know that you're doing it. Yeah. So that we can connect somehow.
Yeah.
That's true. It's always hard to know how many people just do it digitally, right? Because you'll get the email, you'll get the ebook, and then we just have no idea how many people are doing that.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all now, I'm going to get the ebook. That's just more my speed. I love the fact it's half the price. I love that it can just be on my phone everywhere I go, and I don't have to go, I forgot it at the office, or I forgot it here. It's just always with me.
Yeah.
So.
I did already download the app, but I haven't actually had a chance to look at it, but I have downloaded it. And
the ebook, you mean?
The ebook.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said app. That's okay.
See, you have it.
Yeah.
I did download
That's a
the
decent
ebook.
way to describe it too, because it was an app.
Yeah, I know. And really, it's not much different, right? Other than you just don't hit that on your screen. You can actually put a shortcut on your screen.
You know what happened a while ago? I was reading a textbook, like an actual paper book for a course I was doing, and I was so accustomed to reading ebooks, I kept tapping the page, and I'm like, why isn't it turning? And I felt so dumb and so silly, and then I realized, it's an old book.
Okay,
And I actually had to turn the page. It
the
was
amount of times
the
that
worst thing.
I'll have like a photograph or something like that in
Yeah.
my hand, and I pinch because I want to zoom in on whose face is that.
Yeah.
So it's not just you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry,
Oh, I'm
I
glad.
haven't done either of those things. I think I'm just too used to the real thing, but it's pretty funny.
Anyway.
We wanted to make another announcement. Well, okay, two more things. One
Yes.
is that this Sunday is Communion Sunday.
Right.
So have your bread and your cup
Yeah.
ready. So, and then the other thing, one of you guys,
So
Yeah.
if you've been along with some of our life groups, they love to support others, and one of the people in our life group,
Yeah.
the Johnson family, they had a baby this week, and it's a girl, which they had announced a while ago. The girl does not yet have a name. We know it's going to be a baby Johnson, but that's as far as it goes. Talked with Wade, and he said, "Yeah, I slept fine." And he said Laura's doing good. It was a long night from like 5 p.m. to 8 a.m., but like 8:03 she was born, and
on what day?
I think yesterday,
February
right?
2nd?
Yesterday,
Sure.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
the second.
congratulations.
And
Very
she's
exciting.
7 pounds 4 ounces.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And doing well and feeling good, and the name is yet to come.
Sure.
And we'll hopefully see some pictures on Facebook, and you can connect with them on Facebook through that.
We had on this last Sunday another one of our Lakeview kids Zoom calls, which we've done a couple now, and Nathan joined us, and so that's one of the things. I'm like, Nathan, has your mom had the baby yet? No. And he was just going. It was really exciting just to kind of hear him, share his excitement for how close it was, and so really excited to be able to celebrate with them that that everyone's doing well, and and there's this healthy baby. So
That's really
it's really cool.
Exciting.
It's really cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, Jeff, what's next on the agenda? Do we?
We wanted to make sure you knew of those four things, so
Okay.
congratulations to the Johnsons.
Yeah.
The communion for Sunday, the following Sunday, the prayer meeting at 6:30 on the 14th, and then to get your books and let us know that you're doing it so that we can connect with you as we see how it's going.
Excellent.
And please don't say put it on Facebook, because I don't do Facebook.
Oh,
I never
Yeah.
do.
It is not for everybody,
no.
That's right.
No.
and that's okay.
Right.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us, everyone. We will see you Sunday.